welcome to bonus stage.
Hey guys, and welcome back to That LP Show. The name of the game is Donkey Kong 64. Last time, we entered Crystal Caves and dealt with a giant Kasha raining stalactites down from the ceiling, so our search for golden bananas should go a whole lot smoother. And here we have another round of Crazy Kong Clamor, and once again, because I'm playing the Wii U Virtual Console version, the input delay doesn't allow me to react before the lights go out. So unfortunately, I'm still forced to resort to the pause trick. Remember, if you're playing the game on an actual Nintendo 64 console, you're not going to need to use that trick. The game is still difficult and still requires good reflexes, but it's not outright impossible. Okay, so after collecting that golden banana, you can see another number 3 teleport pad up here, so we'll be taking that in a few seconds here. I just want to make sure that I'm topped off on crystal coconuts, or at least gather up as much as I can, because once again, I can't stress it enough, we're really going to need them here. Let's just remember to come back here with Chunky toward the end of the stage. So we're pretty much done in this area for right now. We won't be returning to this igloo until toward the end. We'll be heading all the way to the other side of Crystal Caves now, and since there's a trail of purple bananas along the way, might as well just take the scenic route with Tiny Kong. But I do want to jump up about part way. Let's see. I think about here is good. Nope, back a little bit. There's a little something off the beaten path that I want to collect before moving on. Nothing mandatory, nothing really important. In fact, you've probably already guessed what I'm going for here. Just a few purple coins for Tiny Kong. And I've given it some thought, and I figured I probably shouldn't be apologizing for going out of my way for these things. I mean, this is intended to be a walkthrough, so I should probably be trying to show off as much as I can, even though I probably still won't be showing off the location of every single coin in the game because they don't count for completion percentage, so I never bothered to learn the location of all of them. And that about does it for all of the purple bananas down here. We see some blue ones coming up for Lanky, but we'll be getting those on the way back. So there's Candy Kong straight ahead. We'll be paying her a quick visit, and she's going to actually give us something very useful, especially for one of DK's bonus areas coming up. I'm just going to skip straight through this dialogue because it's nothing we haven't already read before, but she gives us our third melon. Now we can be like the chick from Total Recall. And for no extra charge, she increases our maximum capacity of music energy. Not that we'll ever be really hurting for music energy, unless you're one of those people who like to go all screen nuke happy with your musical instruments, which is something I don't really do all that often. Only in case of emergency. Anyway, on this side of the caves, we have these wooden cabins with doors leading to little mini challenges for each of the Kongs, and you can just play the musical instrument in front of them, they'll open up the door, and you can go in and win a prize. Some of these are pretty easy. One of Diddy's is actually quite difficult just because of the really strict time constraint. We'll be getting to that. What I like about the mini challenges here in Crystal Caves is that I believe all of them reward you with an actual golden banana and not just a bonus barrel, which is the way it should be throughout the entire game. It should either be a mini challenge or a hidden bonus barrel, not one inside the other, because when you open up a present box, you want to find a present, not another box for you to unwrap. Anyway, fairly simple challenge here. We have some big clap traps. Just keep your distance, go into first-person mode, and start chucking oranges at them. Once you have them all destroyed, the golden banana appears, and of course we have some collectibles here, a few banana bunches, and that purple balloon there. I almost said red balloon there. I guess I have old French films on the back of my mind for some reason. Anyway, while you're here, try not to go too crazy with the oranges. You do want to have a few for one of Diddy's challenges coming up. In fact, I'm going to be taking that one on next just because I want to get it over with. It's not really a particular favorite of mine. Just want to gather up a few crystal coconuts here because we are going to be doing some jetpacking. Diddy actually has 2 mini challenges in this cabin area, and both of them require him to use his jetpack. The one we're going to handle after this isn't so bad, but this one right here in particular can be frustrating because, well, you'll see. In fact, chances are you're going to see a crossfade here because I'm probably not going to manage to do this on my first try. The concept is actually quite simple. Destroy all of the enemies, get a golden banana. However, there is a time limit, and it's not that bad of a time limit. Here's the problem. You're jetpacking through this tiny area, and the camera is not your friend. We want to start off by killing that critter in the corner, and then fly low and grab that bunch of red bananas. That will lure all those clobbers toward the corner. And then we want to fly over here and land. Swing the camera around real quick. See what I mean with the camera? Come on. Whatever. And throw some... Oh, come on. See, I'm getting flustered and pressing all the wrong buttons. We want to kill these guys with oranges. Luring them toward the center helps and makes them an easier target. You blow up one and it causes a chain reaction. And then we want to take out each of these clumps with oranges. Make sure you line yourself up correctly. And then we want to take out this critter. Oh, crap. And that's a problem I have with this area. It's not simply enough to kill all of the enemies in the room before the timer hits 0. You actually have to do it before the timer hits 2, because the timer keeps on counting down for a little while after you've killed that last enemy. You know what? I'm going to leave that failed attempt in, because I want to show everybody how bullshit that was. Anyway, let's try this again. If I fail again, I'll just crossfade. Okay, take out the corner. Come on. There we go. And then lure these guys toward the center. Oh, crap. Get back in the jet barrel, Diddy. All right, let's try this again. Fly low, get him in the center. Get back in the corner. Work with me this time, camera. There we go. All right. And all right, that should do. Let's try not to fall off as we take out these clumps. Don't you dare hit me with one of your grenades. All right. This should be plenty of time. Take out this guy, and... You see that? It counted... The timer was on 4 when I finally hit him, but it counted down one more time. So, yeah, I guess you gotta just take him out before the timer hits 1. If you know... actually kill that last enemy when the timer is on 1, it's going to count down to 0, and it's not going to count, and that's complete and utter bull crap. It's because the game waits for the enemy to complete their overly long death animation. They want to, like, pretend to choke and die and spin around in the circle and then collapse flat on their backs, and then they fade away. Anyway, other than that banana bunch in the center, there are 4 red coins in each corner on these raised platforms, and 4 single bananas down on the floor. So don't forget to pick those things up on your way out. Don't even bother going after them before you've taken out all of the enemies. There's just not enough time. So before going into the next door, there's a very cleverly hidden red balloon up in the air. Come on, get up there. Yeah, way up here. That's very easy to miss. Actually, I shouldn't say that it's all that cleverly hidden, because, it's kind of like the traditional 3D Zelda game puzzle, which pretty much amounts to, look up, stupid. Anyway, fortunately, the challenge we're going to take on here is significantly easier than the one we just did. Come to think of it, this one's also kind of reminiscent of a Zelda puzzle. Let's take these enemies out real quick. You'll see why it's reminiscent of a Zelda puzzle. Come on, die. I couldn't get my charge attack to work. We want to take out both of these cottages first. And once we've killed them, a simian spring pad should spawn, and we're going to use that to bounce up and reach a jet barrel. Here we go. We want to face the camera this way because it's a little bit ahead of us, so we want to hold... what the hell? We want to hold forward on the stick so we can get to it. What the hell's going on? Oh, that's right. I have to hold down the button. Duh. Sorry. Oh, come on. Yeah, the last time I used the simian spring was in Frantic Factory, so it's been a little while. Alright, here's where it gets a little Zelda-ish. We want to fly our jetpack over these giant candles. Make sure you grab the banana bunches on the way. Sometimes they're easy to miss. But the flames from the jetpack light the candles. So this is pretty much a classic light the torch puzzle. Once we have all 3 of those giant candles lit, golden banana appears, and the camera spazzes out on me. Of course, why not? So as far as these mini challenges in the cabins are concerned, we've gotten the most difficult ones out of our way. At least in my opinion. And at least this banana fairy is showing mercy on us by moving slowly. Watch, I still missed. No, okay, we did alright. And that makes 14. One more before we unlock something new in the mystery menu, and we'll be getting that here in Crystal Caves. Okay, a couple more challenges here in this cabin. One for Donkey Kong, one for Chunky Kong. There is another one for Donkey Kong in the next cabin, but I want to take on Donkey Kong's here first because there's a few collectibles on the way to the next cabin that I can pick up with Chunky Kong, and I'll just switch back to DK when I get there. I did like 3 practice runs of Crystal Caves in order to get a proper route going, and I'm still not 100% sure it's all that great. Anyway, easy task here, destroy all the zingers, and we have some homing ammo placed around that'll help us. So, one good sweeping motion ought to take them all out pretty quickly. There we go, that ought to do it. Give it a few seconds for the last one to die, and that should spawn our golden banana. Okay, before picking that up, there's a few collectibles here for DK, some coins, and a bunch of bananas here. Let's just sit and wait for these trap doors to close. There we go. And it's hard to tell, but they're actually a little bit above DK. It's hard to tell from this perspective. Also, the lack of drop shadows doesn't really help, but they are a little bit above DK's eye level, so you got to jump up a little bit to grab them. Okay, let's switch over to Chunky Kong now. I wish there was a tag barrel down here. That would be a lot more convenient than jumping all the way back up here, which, believe it or not, if we didn't stop those stalactites from falling, it would make even a simple task like that more difficult than it needed to be. And that was probably the most difficult part of setting up my route for Crystal Caves, is finding out how to stop those stalactites as soon as I could without breaking up the flow. Because I was trying to make it to where I didn't go an entire episode without collecting any golden bananas, but I collected 2 in the last episode, so that worked out pretty well. A lot better than I expected it to. So, fairly simple challenge here. Stay out of the spotlights or you're going to get the "get out" voice. Wow, that actually kind of hurt. Anyway, yeah, stay out of the spotlights, and you'll see these targets around each side of the room. Just wait for it, there we go, and quickly do a Simian Slam on top of it, and a pad with Chunky's face appears. So we're gonna get use out of his new ability in this one. And when you see it, you'll wonder how it actually helps with anything. Yeah, you see that? It turns him invisible, but his clothes are still there. So he's not really invisible. Anyway, here we have another Searchlight Seek. Still not all that difficult. In fact, it's probably a little easier to lead these targets. I don't know. I find it a little... Where'd he go? There he is. Okay, I find it a little easier to time when they're moving a bit faster. Maybe that's just me. Just remember that the depth of this barrel you're looking down is actually much more than it seems. So it takes some time for the watermelon to reach to the bottom and hit the claptrap. It helps if you remember that the watermelon isn't going to hit where the targeting reticle is, rather where the targeting reticle was when you pressed the button. But still, not that difficult. The claptraps are pretty good about spawning toward the center, so you never really have a hard time keeping track of them. And look at that! He's not invisible, he's just scary. You'd think instead of not being able to find him, the enemy actually would be able to see his clothes flying around and would react by running away screaming. It doesn't look so much like he's invisible so much as it looks like his model failed to load. In fact, at this point, I wouldn't be half surprised if someone on the dev team suggested that ability just so they had an excuse to render one less thing. Oh, and as you're climbing up here, watch out for this zinger. It's a real pain in the ass. It drops a lot of grenades, and it always seems to hit me. So I need to switch over to Tiny with that tag barrel, but I don't want to deal with him. All right, no golden bananas or mini games over here for Tiny. She just has this Kasplat up here that I want to deal with real quick. And yeah, and she has a purple balloon, so I want to take that out too. There we go. And then take... Oh, God damn it. Whatever. Fortunately, it's not that far of a fall, so it's an easy climb back up. If I could find a place to actually climb back up. Where the... There it is. I'm getting all turned around. I have no idea what happened there. I mean, parts of this stage has ice physics, certainly not that platform up there, so I don't know why she decided to just randomly slide forward when I pulled out her feather bow. I'm surprised that zinger hasn't respawned yet. It probably will in a few seconds here. Alright, take 2. Where is it? There it is. Of course I miss. And I think I just heard the Zinger respawn. Oh no, that was the splat. Okay, wow. That could have ended with a problem. Okay, there's a mini challenge here for Donkey Kong and Lanky. I'm gonna take on Donkey Kong's first because I want to head back the other way with Lanky once we're all done here because he has some blue bananas on the path. You saw those as we were headed this way the first time. Alright, get ready because this challenge here is one of those that would be very, very easy if there were drop shadows, but there's not. Okay, so there's some colored switches all over the room once we manage to turn the camera. There we go. And we want to hit them in pairs. Let's see what's over there. Alright, so let's start off by hitting this blue one. And then we hit these switches and it rotates the room, and then we hit the blue one here and that matches it up. Then we want to hit both of these yellow ones. Oh wow, I almost hit that red one too. Okay, and now we hit this red one here, and I believe the next one is on this side right here. There we go. And from here, we could either hit the brown one or the green one. It doesn't really matter because they both have a, come on, they both have a counterpart over here. So we hit the green one, so we'll hit this green one over here, and then the two purple ones, and then we'll end off with the brown ones. So this is pretty easy. I'd say, you know, the biggest challenge or the biggest risk is accidentally hitting the wrong one because there's no drop shadow underneath DK. And that can be a problem because if you hit two that don't match, then they both reset, and that can be a real problem. Wow, what the hell? Yeah, it would also help if there was a drop shadow underneath that golden banana there, so I knew that it wasn't, that it was floating above DK. That was a kind of a weird perspective there. Yeah, you don't want them to reset, especially if they're on opposite ends. And that battle arena pad looked awfully tiny compared to the other ones. Anyway, this is Plinth Panic. I don't know why they call it that because I'm pretty sure a plinth is some sort of stone or a block or a slab, and I don't really see anything related to that here. I mean, the only enemies we have are a single critter and two Kasplats. Well, I guess a plinth can also be, you know, something that you call a platform, and we're technically on a platform. Anyway, this one can get a little hectic. Now, the idea, I mean, in a perfect world, is to attack the critter as it spawns, and then hold down the B button after that attack in order to build up a charged attack in order to take out both of the Kasplats at the same time once they respawn. But as you can see, oh, come on, come on. Oh, this is going to be bad. Come on, just last a few more seconds. Yeah, as you can see, the timing on the enemy spawns isn't always that great. They're not always in sync. You know, sometimes two critters will appear in a row before the Kasplats appear. Sometimes the Kasplats will appear at two separate times, so that can be a problem. But in a perfect world, that's the strategy that you'd want to use. But as you saw there, it's not 100% foolproof. Sometimes you just gotta get lucky. Alright, one more challenge here in the cabins that we need to take care of, and we're going to do that with Lanky Kong. Let's hit up the tag barrel. First, I want to take out this Zinger here. I'm not taking any chances with this guy. I swear, he gets me every single time. Okay, switch on over to Lanky Kong, and he has a pad over here that will let us inflate ourselves, just like a balloon, in order to reach the switch to open up the cabin door that's on top of the roof. Well, the switch is on top of the roof. The cabin door's on the front, obviously. And this is going to be one of two challenges in Crystal Caves that makes use of Lanky's new Orangutan ability. And it is very important that you take on this one first. It's not going to give you anything that makes the next one easier. It's just, it's going to do something here that's less of a hindrance here than it is on the next one. First thing we want to do is take out both of the cottages here in this room just so they're not getting in our way. Come on. I don't know what the hell happened there. I had a fully charged, but it wouldn't discharge. Anyway, let's go ahead and inflate ourselves just like a balloon once again. And we'll float up to this barrel and activate the orang stand. Okay, and of course it gives us a little tutorial there. In the next one, I'll let you know why that will be annoying. But we move super fast now, almost to a point where it's hard to control. And once we hit that switch, we have 3 short seconds to get over here and grab this golden banana. So you can see why we need that. But we do have one more challenge later on that involves a ring stand, and it's that tutorial that pops up the first time you use the ability that causes problems. And I'll explain why that's such a pain in the ass and why that's complete and utter bull crap when it becomes pertinent. We'll actually be heading there right now, even though we probably won't be seeing that challenge until the next episode. We got a few collectibles here with Lanky Kong. Want to grab these coins while I'm up here, and of course we can recharge our music all the way to 20. Only with Lanky Kong though, or those music recharge headphones, they only work on the Kong that actually touches them. Unlike with ammo, music energy is exclusive to each Kong. So, I mean, if one person fills theirs all the way up to 20, you know, anybody else who has used their music energy already isn't going to be refilled, just that one Kong. So that's good to keep in mind if you're one of those people who like to constantly use your musical instrument as a screen nuke. Just remember that, you know, they don't share their ammo count, or they don't share their musical energy count. But yeah, they do share ammo for their weapons though, and they also share their orange grenade count. Pretty much anything that gets refilled when you capture a banana fairy, that's all shared among each Kong. If you'll notice, when you capture a banana fairy, she doesn't refill your musical energy. And I apologize, I'm getting completely turned around right now. Don't worry, I know where I want to go now. I want to go to that ice castle that we passed with Chunky Kong earlier, because we have a few frustrating mini games with Lanky Kong that we'll be taking on when we get up there, including a race down an ice tunnel with that beetle bitch from Angry Aztec. So things are about to get very frosty, and I most likely am going to get very, very salty. But that's going to have to wait until next time. And until next time, thank you for watching That LP Show, and have a one that is good.